Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Big Dave from Wrestling Montage Media. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope your team won in Super Bowl. I can't say that they did. I don't really watch football like that, but I thought the Chiefs would win, but at least they scored. So we finna get into this wrestling news from WrestleMania, just reacted to the events of the past week. Let's go.
The real reason for WWE's release is revealed. WWE gave up on a release star. The axed creative plans WWE had for another release star. WWE making huge cuts. Are they facing major backlash? Did LA Knight and Drew McIntyre have a legit fight on SmackDown? And much more. Ooh. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily
I wouldn't be surprised, man. There was some harsh words being thrown around off some real emotions.
Wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania X.
As they say, this ain't ballet.
Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. That first story looks at the real reason for the WWE releases. Now, our top story today takes a look at the fallout from this weekend's WWE releases, as it's been reported the exact reason as to why WWE have made so many significant cuts. A Fightful select have now...
I'm just speculating budgets, but then also just when you're not being utilized, what's the point of paying these people? You know, just let them go.
Reported that WWE is making room for a new batch of stars to debut on the main roster programming in 2025. WWE has had a history of releasing talent before talent shakeups. While main roster cuts are a part of WWE's business model, the timing is unusual to say the very least.
Yeah, for sure. They normally do it after WrestleMania, but I mean, it's a new regime, man. The timing is kind of weird to me, but there's really no good time to fire people. But when you have to make some changes, I mean, it's a business decision. It's not personal. That's why they always say best for business, you know.
From the names involved, hardly any of the names were used on television, so it wasn't like they were taking TV time away from other talent. A SmackDown has now expanded to 3 hours, and WWE releasing a plethora of names when they know they need talent to fill the show is just a baffling call. Using names from NXT is a solid idea, however, NXT is a brand that also needs big names attached to it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Big names, but then also, you know, stick with the theme of building your own homegrown. I mean, that's what it is. But just big names within NXT, you know, it's cool to, like how they did Charlotte and who else? Somebody else that came, but then Charlotte was pretty much the main person to come back to NXT the last time, and then The Rock made his first appearance on NXT a few weeks ago, which was pretty cool.
NXT is on a major network, and they are consistently delivering shows outside of the normal realm. Taking a handful of names from the NXT roster and putting nothing in return is highly detrimental to the NXT product, and it wouldn't come as a surprise if CW Network executives took issue with this call. Next up, WWE gave up on a release star. Now, in relation to one of the key names that was released yesterday, that being Giovanni Vinci, Fightful Select reporting that WWE were high on him initially, but when he re-debuted with his new character, the writing was on the wall.
That was up to them, though. That's their decision. They present their stars in their image and how they see them. But if it's not working, you just tweak some more things. You just don't give up on it. It's just ridiculous.
There were some in the company that were high on Giovanni Vinci upon creating the vignettes for him last year. That didn't end up conveying to TV, and most that we've spoken to believe he was pushed down the card with them knowing he wouldn't be brought back.
They say that's ridiculous because I believe that it could have been something if they gave it a chance. Upon creating vignettes for him last year, they end up not conveying on TV. To who? I would guess that apparently the person who decided to give them the push and couldn't shoot the vignettes, they didn't see it themselves. But you know, that's what you let the fans decide. Let us tell you whether it's working or not, you know.
Now, there's also a rumor that Vinci had backstage issues with Ludwig Kaiser, and this would likely explain why he was unceremoniously kicked out of the Imperium faction. But there were rumors last year that Giovanni Vinci's defeats are due to punishment from WWE because he tried to flirt with Tiffany Stratton. And Kaiser,
oh my goodness, I ain't know that. See?
showed his discontent to WWE management. Again, this is nothing official, just a rumor that may seem plausible now. Vinci is a name that would have thrived in NXT, and it's alarming that WWE would rather release him than give him another shot on a brand that is crying out for talent at the top of the card. Next up,
yeah, I ain't know about him flirting with Tiffany Stratton, and he was dating with she was dating Ludwig Kaiser. I don't know if I don't think they're even together anymore. I don't know, but yeah, if that gets back to the wrong people, that can definitely sway their decision on how they're going to use you.
Axe WWE creative plans for a release star. Now, Blair Davenport was a release that came as a major surprise, as WWE never gave her a solid opportunity on the main roster, and it's led to the questions why on earth they called her up.
See, that's what I remember. Her and Naomi had a few spats, a few bouts, but that was about it.
But in the first place, nevertheless, according to Sean Rossap from Fightful Select, Blair was going to join forces with Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. The sources within WWE Creative spoke with Fightful Select and indicated that there were no substantial creative plans for Blair Davenport until mid-January. She was pitched to join Chelsea Green and Piper Niven's group, and there was a movement on that front, but it didn't happen. The news of wrestlers being released is never positive. We're extending our well wishes to all the names released by WWE.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, WWE making huge cuts. Now, unfortunately, it's not just wrestlers that are being released from awesome. WWE. Yesterday, a former...
I want to visit the new headquarters so bad. It looks so cool. That big old statue belt. That's really awesome. I mean, but the old headquarters, of course, is in Stamford, Connecticut. I think the building's still there, but yeah, I want to see that building too. And exactly where did they rebuild this? I have to look that up if you guys don't tell me already.
Yesterday, a former WWE employee who worked for WWE as a social media video editor took to Reddit and confirmed that they were released from the company. He wrote on Reddit, "Up until Wednesday, I was a video editor for their social medias. Out of nowhere, they called me about some budget cuts and terminated my contract early.
Wow.
I'm heartbroken. I've been a huge fan and this was my dream job.
Wow.
My desk was decked out and I was proud of my job. This is just me ranting and looking for support from a community I've been part of, I guess. Hopefully better things are coming."
Yeah, I'm a video editor myself, as you guys know. I create the custom Tiny Trying videos. My biggest one is Roman Reigns. It almost has 200,000 views. Just incredible. Thank you guys so much for that support. But yeah, that's just sad.
WWE are evidently making serious cost-cutting measures, but with WWE revenue being as high as it is, this really doesn't make a lot of sense. This is definitely an issue that needs to be directed towards Triple H at the next WWE press conference. Next up, could WWE face major backlash? WWE often likes to avoid releasing talent whilst they're on the injured list. However, this weekend, WWE made an exception and decided to release Carl Anderson. Fightful Select noted that releasing injured talent...
I didn't know Carl was injured.
...is very out of the ordinary for WWE, and sources are digging for more details on why WWE made this move. Thankfully, although he's been cut from the company, Anderson is reportedly in good spirits. The WWE may have overhauled the way they release talent, and if it's a new policy...
Yeah, he should be in good spirits. This isn't the first time. You know, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, they'll bounce back. They always got somewhere to go. They've been everywhere. They can just go back.
The injured wrestlers are up for the chop. The WWE are going to receive a significant backlash and media scrutiny, and rightly so. This seemed like a playbook out of Eric Bischoff back in WCW, where he even FedExed the British Bulldog that he was fired after sustaining an injury in the ring. Next up, John Cena accused of politicking. Drew McIntyre dropped another yet incredible social media promo this weekend, and in the promo, McIntyre decided to target John Cena. McIntyre took issue with the fact that Cena just declared himself for the Elimination Chamber, and even accused Cena of playing politics.
Yeah, he just pretty much just said, hey, I'm in it, that's it. But he can do that. He John Cena, I'm sorry. He can. I mean, when you get to that point, when you, as Michael Cole, he tried to shove it down your throat. The greatest of all time. He's definitely one of the all-time greats, but yeah. He can do that. He can put himself anywhere. That's John Cena, man. He's earned it.
All I ever needed was a fair chance, not to go out there, try to handle my business with one person, and then get jumped from behind by someone else. I've listened to all the politicking and backstage backstabbing on Raw, It's a minefield trying to tell the truth on your own. I'm not going to try to politic my way into the Elimination Chamber or use my stroke like John Cena. I'm going to do it the right way, the Drew way, work hard and beat up two of the top contenders in WWE. Whilst this is clearly McIntyre talking in character, it's been a talking point from fans that Cena just declared for the match and didn't have to earn his spot. This would be a compelling story and plot thread.
Well, he also came up with this whole idea of his retirement tour. So if I'm sure he chose his dates, he choosing his spots along the way of shows he wants to work. So you don't think he can choose the matches he want to be a part of? Get out of here.
To pick up when Cena returns to television, and McIntyre could be the perfect person to target Cena for this specific reason. Maybe Cena could say being runner-up in the Royal Rumble is good enough, right?
I'm sure he chose that too. He went to Triple H, was like, hey, I'm gonna be a part of the top two, the last two. You know, they can throw me out. I'll give them the rub on the way out, whoever it may be. I'm sure he knew it was Jay as well, but yeah, man, Cena can do what he want to do.
And Drew McIntyre have a legit fight on SmackDown. Now, the feud between LA Knight and Drew McIntyre is heating up, and following a rather physical commotion on SmackDown this week between the two, there was speculation that the heat is genuine and legitimate. However, that isn't the case, and although LA Knight's promo and of course the brawl between the two did seem real, according to Fightful Select, there's no real tension between the two talents. McIntyre is reportedly set.
I would have to go back and look at that on SmackDown. I watched the match, but I didn't really notice that they were. It was a shoot. I didn't notice that.
For a WrestleMania showdown with Damian Priest. However, due to the positive reception to the McIntyre and LA drama on SmackDown, there's been a push from fans to see WWE to pivot.
This should be a program.
Embracing the real-life elements of McIntyre versus LA Knight could be a great way to go.
I think so. Yeah, that'd be a good pivot. Absolutely, definitely from Priest. We actually got something here between them two, which is actually legit. So that'd be perfect.
There are endless ways WWE could take the feud as we head into WrestleMania 41. Next up, what's happening with the WWE Hall of Fame? Now, we already know that Triple H is headlining the 2025 Hall of Fame class, but it's unknown how WWE will format the event this year. It was reported last year that WWE could be shaking up the format, and according to PW Insider, WWE are still figuring it out. Nothing yet, we're told that they're figuring it out, with Paul Levesque going in. I can see them doing it as its own standalone event. Dead & Company are playing the Sphere that Thursday, so that rumor is not rooted in reality. Now, a lot of fans are hoping that WWE moves the show away from taking place following SmackDown, and WWE allows the event to breathe on its own by having its own unique night. Next up, where is Bo Dallas? Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, has been away from television for some time now, and it was rumored that he was injured. But in a new update this weekend, PW Insider have stated that Dallas was never planned to be at the Royal Rumble and he's off the road.
Yeah.
I was told he was never scheduled to be there and isn't currently on the road for the company.
I don't know, maybe they're holding off until they give him a program at Mania. I don't know. But I honestly, I haven't even noticed they were gone. Not that they're, I'm not saying that as if they're not good. But, I mean, you only got so many spots and so much time on TV, even though the shows are 3 hours now,
The WWE are still proceeding to move forward with the Wyatt 6 storyline, and it looks like Alexa Bliss will be formally introduced to the group in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why Bliss, she just having matches, like she had a qualifying match on SmackDown for the Chamber. So yeah, I think once she links up with them, with the Wyatt family, that she'll start to talk more and start to express herself.
Next up, a WrestleMania 41 match revealed. Now, before Kevin Owens turned on Sami Zayn, fans were under the impression that Owens vs Randy Orton would be one of the featured matches for WrestleMania 41. However, it now looks like WWE will be delivering Owens vs Zayn on the grand stage, according to the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio. Now, there's no news in relation to what Orton will do at WrestleMania if this is the case, as Orton will need to seek revenge on Owens for taking him out of action. With the Elimination Chamber taking place in Canada next month, it's possible that WWE will deliver the Owens vs Zayn matchup there and run Owens vs Orton at WrestleMania 41. However, time will tell.
Yep.
And finally, Seth Rollins buries AEW. Our final story today takes a look at how Seth Rollins has taken a cheap shot at AEW. Naturally, it has social media talking. But the shocking NBA trade involving Luka Doncic has now transitioned over to the wrestling world, as Rollins was asked by SiriusXM if AEW and WWE were ever to make a similar trade and how it would look, and Rollins gave a rather negative stance on the question. You'll make some headlines with this one. I don't think there's anybody in AEW that's on our level. You're probably looking at it. If you're looking at LeBron, that's like a John Cena level guy. I'd be looking at a John Cena for an MJF maybe. That'd be the deal. Luka would be MJF. That's the level. That's how crazy that is. That's a surprise that Tony Khan didn't take issue with Rollins' comments, and I'll be interested to see if there's any backlash directed towards him.
Well, Tony Khan, he not gonna respond. He typically doesn't. He's so hush hush about everything, about most things. You know, unless you get him on a podcast, you really gotta press Tony Khan to really reveal anything about.